Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our panel discussion on blended learning, overcoming challenges, and implementing solutions. First of all, I would like to thank IAFOR for giving us the opportunity to present during this conference. And I would like to welcome also my colleague, Dr. Leandro Loyola, who is Professor of International Business Management at the School of Business of Conestoga College Institute of Technology and Advanced Learning in Canada. Good morning, or I don't know if it is good afternoon or good evening, Leandro.
It is good morning here now, Dr. Muriel. It's 12:46 a.m.
Yeah, so same here in Qatar. So, but no, here it's 8:46 a.m.
hmm
Yes. And also among our panelists, we have Dr. Yaling Wang, who is unfortunately not with us today, but she will be presenting during a recording. Dr. Wang is a distinguished associate professor in the Department of Adult and Continuing Education at National Taiwan Normal University, and she is also the director of National Taiwan Normal University Online. And I am Dr. Muriel Haj. I am assistant professor at Lucelle University and director of Lucelle University Press. We will start with the presentation of Dr. Leandro. Then I will be sharing the recording of Dr. Wang, and I will conclude with my presentation before we start with the Q&A session. Dr. Leandro, we are all ears.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muriel. Let me just
Please.
share my screen first.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone. Again, my name is Leandro Loyola. I am a professor at the School of Business of Conestoga College here in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. And I'm so glad to be with all of you today to present and share my perspectives on the topic blended learning, overcoming challenges, and implementing solutions. But first, of course, this session will not be, since we will be talking about blended learning, right? It will not be we will not be I will not be able to give justice to blended learning if we will not be doing some online activities over here, right? So I would just like to know your pulse or know your insights or just probably your answer to the questions that I'll be giving out. You can just put them on chat. We are capable of doing that, right? Of putting something on the chat box. Okay. All right. So the first question is, on a scale of 1 to 5, can you or how would you rate your overall expertise in using blended learning tools? So, for our participants today, I would want you to make use of our chat box and just rate the level of your expertise in using blended learning tools. Okay, are we seeing any response already? I'm not actually seeing the chat. There you go. Okay, thank you, Clarissa. How about the others? Okay, we have 4 from Suprita. June wrote there 3. Okay, not bad, right? So 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. So we're probably in the middle and actually almost having that highest level of expertise. Okay, second question. All right. Second question is, how comfortable do you feel using blended learning tools in your teaching and learning activities? So if you would like to, if you could please rate it again in terms of your level of comfortability, with 5 being very comfortable and 1, very uncomfortable in using this blended learning tools. Because it's also possible that we may be experts in using the tools, but then again, we are not so comfortable in using them for our learning and teaching activities, and that we would prefer to be using, a specific modality of learning and teaching. Okay, so we're seeing some responses now. So we got 4, another 4. All right. Okay. I'm not sure if the others, maybe they are also thinking about, the rates that they will be giving on the questions. or their answer to our questions. Okay. All right. And the third question is, what types of support or resources would enhance your comfort level with blended learning tools? So if you feel that you're not yet on that five, on that level of being very comfortable, what do you think would be the support that you will be needing, or any resources that you think would be beneficial to enhance your comfort level with blended learning tools? If you will be willing to share, you can also put that in our chat box. Okay. Okay, maybe our participants are still typing in their response. Those resources could be very simple, like some trainings, or attending trainings, or attending webinars like this that we have right now, or being able to engage with other people who are experts, right, in the field, or who has more experience, right? Yeah, having like those PowerPoint presentations, webinars, and definitely, yeah, interaction and engagement would be helpful for us to increase that level of comfort and even the expertise, I believe, no? And using all those blended learning tools. Great. Thank you very much for your participation. All right, so I would also like to begin by sharing with you an overview of blended learning. We probably know a lot about blended learning already, but the University of Waterloo actually described blended learning as the intentional combination of online and in-person elements. So there is a combination of that online modality and also some in-person elements. The activities and materials for both formats are actually chosen to complement each other. They are also used to engage students and to achieve specific learning outcomes. Sometimes blended courses also reduce the amount of face-to-face time because some of the courses are already being delivered online or asynchronously. Blended learning can also include discussions like lab works, field trips, group projects, other online activities. There isn't really a single approach to blended courses. Some may actually use online platforms for delivering content or lectures and reserve classroom time for active learning, which is what we call the flipped classroom. So many of you might have probably experienced that or are actually using that. And researches actually indicates that students tend to learn more effectively and report higher satisfaction in blended courses compared to purely online or traditional face-to-face classes. In Canada, blended learning has seen a significant growth and transformation. Institutions are continuously adapting to new technologies and teaching methods to enhance, of course, the educational experience of the students. According to the 2023 Pan-Canadian Report on Digital Learning Trends in Canadian Post-Secondary Education, the trends on blended learning include hybrid learning and flexibility, the existence and use of generative AI, and the readiness to learn and to teach in a multidimensional environment. So, talking about hybrid learning and flexibility, there has been a significant rise in the number of programs and courses that are available in a hybrid format. This shift towards hybrid learning, rather than fully online or in person experiences, highlights the increasing demand for flexibility from both the students and some faculty members. Um, Hybrid learning actually combines the best aspects of both online and in person education, as it allows students to benefit from the convenience and accessibility of online learning while still engaging in face to face interactions that can enhance understanding and collaboration. Generative AI, on the other hand, is of course, has the potential to be both problematic and beneficial at the same time. On the challenging side, it requires educators to adapt to new technologies, raises ethical and privacy concerns, and also the risks in reducing personal interactions. However, it also offers significant benefits such as automating administrative tasks, providing personalized learning experiences, creating engaging learning materials, and also supporting the diverse learning needs. Readiness to learn and readiness to teach. Readiness to learn, students must cultivate that digital skills that is tailored to educational context. So that is an expectation that we are, expecting our students to have. This includes proficiency in using learning management systems, which may not, may, which of course there are different types of learning management systems, no? And people might have different levels also of expertise and comfortability in using those learning management systems. It also includes participating in virtual classrooms and leveraging online resources effectively. And developing these skills ensures that students can navigate and benefit from digital learning environments, enhancing their overall educational experience. In terms of being ready to teach, faculty members need to build competencies for teaching with technology and in online settings. This involves understanding how to integrate the digital tools into their teaching practices, designing engaging online courses, and effectively managing virtual classrooms. Additionally, faculty should be adept at using various educational technologies to facilitate interactive and inclusive learning experiences. Okay, so, the increasing popularity of online and hybrid learning, combined with the integration of technology and AI by students, has actually introduced a range of instructional and operational challenges. One of which would be academic integrity. Well, definitely in terms of the use of AI tools in accomplishing their academic requirements and the effectiveness of assessment practices, especially for online and asynchronous courses. I think many of you are experiencing that also, right? Training and support is also one of the challenges as it pertains to the availability of programs, training, and support that will increase the digital literacy of the faculty members and the level of comfortability in delivering classes in a blended learning environment. This also includes the support for faculty members experiencing fatigue and burnout. Now, many of us are actually experiencing that already. This is actually due to many factors surrounding our personal and professional lives, including the many workload and expectations. And some still consider the use of technology as actually time consuming. No? For example, it was revealed that preparations for lecture or teaching materials that are designed and developed on a web-based platform actually require more time than face-to-face interaction, which is true, right? Thirdly is the student engagement. So the active involvement of students during class is also affected. Students get easily distracted and lose their focus with online classes. They are also becoming passive in completing the requirements for asynchronous activities. They are just more on complying rather than having that commitment, in studying and actively learning. Because of this, educators must find ways to make online content more interactive and engaging as in-person lessons. Fourth would be access. Fourth would be the access and equity. Ensuring all students have equal access to the necessary technology and internet connectivity is also a significant concern. This digital divide can hinder the effectiveness of blended learning for some students. And lastly would be the balancing of the online and in-person instructions. Finding the right balance between online and face to face instruction is crucial. A good balance of learning modalities is particularly appealing because it accommodates different learning styles and schedules. Students can actually often choose when and where to complete their online components, making it easier to balance their studies with other commitments such as work or family. Right? Well, of course, if there are challenges, there are also lots of opportunities that we can actually draw from this learning or from this blended from this blended learning environment that we are all in, right? One of which would be that personalized learning. So, blended learning allows for the customization of educational experiences to meet individual student needs through the use of data analytics and adaptive learning technologies. Educators can actually tailor the content, the pacing, and even the learning activities to suit each student's strengths and weaknesses. Second would be that increased accessibility. If we consider that as a challenge, access and equity a while ago, we also see that as an opportunity. Blended learning makes education more accessible to a wider range of students. Online components can be accessed from anywhere with an internet connection, breaking down geographical barriers and providing opportunities for those who might not be able to attend in-person classes. This flexibility is particularly beneficial for students with disabilities, working professionals, and those with family commitments. Third is enhanced engagement. The combination of online and in-person activities in blended learning can lead to higher levels of student engagement. Interactive online tools, multimedia content, and virtual simulations can make learning more dynamic and interesting. Um, Fourth would be the development of digital skills. as blended learning environments naturally incorporate the use of various digital tools and platforms, which help students develop essential digital literacy skills, which they will be using when they already finish their studies, right? So these skills are increasingly important in today's technology-driven world and can actually enhance students' employability and readiness for the digital workplace. And lastly would be the collaboration opportunities. Blended learning fosters collaboration among students through both online and face-to-face interaction. Online discussion forums, group projects, and collaborative tools like shared documents and virtual meeting spaces enable students to work together, share ideas, and learn from each other. In person sessions can further strengthen these collaborative relationships by promoting a sense of community and teamwork. By leveraging these opportunities, blended learning can create a more flexible, engaging, and effective educational experience, both for the students and the educators. Now, please allow me to bring this closer to home and share with you some strategies that we employ at Conestoga College to support student engagement in blended learning courses. One is the use of interactive online content. Instructors in our college create engaging online materials such as videos, quizzes, and interactive discussions to keep students actively involved in their learning. We make sure that they have something to look at every time and then we communicate to them regularly about it. So we use tools like the eConestoga, which is the college's learning management system. And there's a lot of things that we can actually do in our learning management systems, making sure that our students are busy and are well equipped, with the learning and the kind of education that they need to have for their program. Second is by having regular communications with them. We try to maintain consistent communication as we find it very crucial. Instructors would actually send regular updates, announcements, and feedback through email and also by the use of our LMS. We also hold virtual office hours so that we'll be able to provide additional support and answer student queries. We make sure that we have that always posted and always available for the students. Thirdly, would be having those discussion forums. So online discussion forums are also used to encourage peer-to-peer interaction and collaborative learning. We encourage the students to discuss their thoughts, their ideas about the topics in our discussion forums, and instructors actively participate in these forums to guide discussions and to provide insights, making sure that they are talking about what they're supposed to be talking about. Okay. And then we also have the personalized feedback, wherein we provide timely and personalized feedback on assignments and assessments, which helps students understand their progress and areas for improvement. So these feedback is also often delivered through our LMS. Engagement activities, definitely, where we design activities that require active participation, such as group projects, peer reviews, and case studies. These activities actually help students apply their knowledge in those practical scenarios. And lastly, would be the use of open educational resources. Open educational resources, or OER, refer to any teaching and learning materials that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license. We see the benefit of this for the students and also for the teachers. And we actually believe that OER continues to be a trending topic in higher education today, and for good reason, as they are invaluable student success tools that help achieve and create more accessible, equitable, and inclusive educational opportunities and environment. So, to sum up, I believe that with the continuous evolution of the landscape of education, we are witnessing the digital transformation of higher education. There is a clear existence of series of deep and coordinated culture, diversified workforce, and technology shifts that enable new educational and operating models and transform an institution's operations, strategic directions, and value proposition. We as educators must be able to take advantage of the positive outcomes of this transformation by ensuring that we are able and capable of embedding technology in our learning and teaching activities. We should also be mindful of the transformation process by becoming catalysts of positive change and embracing the value of collaborating with others to actively find solutions and make a difference in the world. Thank you very much, and I hope that you get to learn something from what I have shared and from my simple presentation today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leandro, for this insightful presentation. We will leave the questions until the end of the session. So please, for the participants, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat box, because we will come back at the end of the session to answer your questions. Now I will share my screen to broadcast the recording of the presentation of Dr. Yali Wang. And just one moment, and we will start shortly. I think you can see my screen. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Yaling Wang, and I'm honored to present at the Asia Conference on Education 2024. I'm a distinguished associate professor in the Department of Adult and Continuing Education at National Taiwan Normal University, and I direct NTNU Online. Today, I'll share you the implemented blended learning in an intergenerational context, focusing on challenges and solutions for diverse age groups. To briefly introduce myself, my research centers on digital learning psychology and intergenerational communication. This has led me to design courses where older and younger students learn together, benefiting from each other's perspectives in a collaborative environment. Okay, here is course design and structure. Our course is designed as a blended learning program, combining synchronous online and in-person sessions. We use NTNU global virtual classrooms equipped advanced tools such as tracking cameras and touch screens. This setup supports both in-service students who are generally older and younger students from mainland China. Through interactive sessions and group activities, we foster digital fluency and collaborative learning, allowing different generations to share and learn together. Okay, here is experience in online collaborative teaching with SCNU. As can be seen, in collaboration with South China Normal University, we conducted a 4-week course, remote course. My class at NTNU included older in-service students, while SCNU's class consists of younger full-time students. This intergenerational and cross-cultural setup enables students to engage in meaningful discussions and learn from each other's experiences. Okay, let me introduce NTNU's Global Virtual Classroom. The Global Virtual Classroom model connects students and faculty across 30 partner institutions globally. It operates on 3 key principles: globalization, connection, and collaborative learning. This setup facilitates online learning and international exchange, enriching the experience with diverse perspectives from students of different ages and cultural backgrounds. As can be seen in these 2 photos, let me introduce a global virtual classroom setup. You can see our classroom are equipped with advanced tools such as automatic checking cameras. Here's the cameras. You can automatic checking the students or the teachers walk around the classroom. And also wireless microphones, multiple screens, and movable tables and chairs, which allow us to create an interactive and adaptable learning environment for intergenerational learning. This setup enables both older and younger students to actively participate, whether in person or online. Okay, and let me share about the experience in online collaborative teaching with SCNU. For our collaboration with SCNU, we structure the process into three phases. First one is preliminary preparation, and the second is actual teaching, and the last one is post-class review. In preparation, we align objectives and resolve logistical issues. And also in the actual teaching session, involve live discussion and group work, and foster intergenerational interactions. Finally, a post-class review. In this review phase, we gather feedback to refine our approach for future collaborations. Okay, let me go into the detailed preliminary preparation. As can be seen in this slide, during preliminary preparation, we coordinated on topics, scheduled session, selected platforms, and then design activities such as icebreakers to bridge cultural and generational gap, connection test, and the proficiency assessment help ensure a smooth and inclusive learning experience. Okay, and here is the actual teaching phase. In the actual teaching phase, we conducted synchronous sessions, use different platforms to accommodate regional availability. Both NTNU and SCNU students engage in real-time discussions and collaborative tasks, enriching their learning through intergenerational and cross-cultural exchanges. Okay, and here are some challenges in intergenerational blended learning. The first one is technological anxiety. Older students may feel hesitate or overwhelmed by new technology, while younger students tend to adapt more quickly. Second, the cognitive and learning adaptations, need for content to be paced and presented to suit varying cognitive styles and the learning speed among different age groups. Third, engagement and motivation. Maintaining engagement can be challenging, as older students may prefer structured content, while younger students benefit from the interactive element. The last one, accessibility and usability. Ensuring digital platforms are user-friendly and accessible to support a wide range of digital proficiencies across different generations. Solutions and best practices. To address these challenges, we use supportive technology, offer a gradual learning curve, and focus on familiar examples to make digital tasks relatable. Also, positive reinforcement also play a role, encouraging students of all ages to participate confidently and in a low-stress environment. Okay, here's our feature directions. Looking ahead, we aim to expand blended learning to reach more students of all ages, incorporating a voice activated tag for easier access. Our long-term focus is to develop sustainable learning models that build confidence and digital literacy across generations. And okay, here's the conclusion. In conclusion, blended learning support intergenerational education by meeting diverse needs and promoting inclusivity. It empowers students of all ages to develop digital skills and foster a collaborative learning environment. And here's all my presentation, and thank you for your attention. I'm happy to take any question. Thank you.
I would like to thank virtually Dr. Yaling Guang for her presentation. And before we go to the Q&A session, I also have a presentation on blended learning. I will not take so long because thanks to Dr. Leandro, he covered most of the points and the areas related to blended learning. So I'll share my screen just one moment and I will be with you. So I hope you can see my presentation. So for blended learning, of course, when we talk about blended learning, we think directly about the post-COVID era, because during the COVID, all the classes were taught online. However, blended learning existed before the COVID-19 pandemic. And with the new educational system, we are here to shape students who are ready to join the labor market and who are equipped with the 21st century skills, which are effective communication, digital literacy, high productivity, intensive thinking, critical thinking, analysis, and spiritual and moral values. So in order to shape the future generation of students, the educational setting is not only focused on providing traditional lectures. We must engage the students in the learning and teaching process in order to prepare them to join the labor market and to shape their critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration skills. So for blended learning, I will not spend a lot of time just like defining blended learning, because I don't want to repeat what my colleagues said. However, for blended learning and what we use at Lusail University, we use the hybrid classroom. So we have a group of students who are attending online, face-to-face, and in the same time, we have a group of students who are attending online. So we have the most face-to-face and online setting. And it's sometimes challenging to the teacher in order to manage both groups and to provide an efficient learning experience. So for blended learning, we have the challenges, and I have the challenges related to the teacher and to the student also. For example, for the teacher, and as I said, we sometimes face a challenge in like effectively balancing both groups of students, especially if we have a huge number of students. If, for example, the lecture is more than 45 students or sometimes 30 plus students. Also, the nature of online learning environment. For example, sometimes some of the students, they have a challenge attending the class online, because what we do is at Lusail University, we have segregation. We have, for example, the male students, they have their building. The female students, they attend in another building. And for example, this week, if I'm teaching the female students face-to-face, the male students will be attending online. Vice versa, the next week, the male students will be attending face-to-face and the female students online. Many students, they prefer, believe me, the face-to-face teaching style because they find it more efficient. That's why sometimes attending online, the students, they may feel disconnected, especially if they, for example, they have like technical issues or internet connectivity issues, and they tend to like disengage a little bit. And as I said, the larger the class size is, the more disengaging content for students. They will find it more disengaging because of the balance between the face-to-face and online groups. Also, the students, if they in the classroom, they have like challenges in the participation. When they go online, they tend to disengage sometimes because they feel uncomfortable and they keep their microphone muted. So they limit their participation, they become passive. And this is a point that Dr. Leandro mentioned earlier. Also, we have another challenge, which is the lack of peer feedback and unequal participation. For example, some of the students, if they are attending online, the teacher tends sometimes to give feedback to the face-to-face students. The online students, they go, if they are not using the microphone, they can write on the chat. Sometimes the feedback is not immediate to these students. And also, some of the challenges is insufficient opportunities for peer correction and feedback, because especially if the face-to-face students are working together and the online students are working together, and there's not the bridging between the both groups. And of course, the unequal time in peer discussions. This will lead to frustration, and sometimes they feel passive and they disengage. Another challenge of blended learning, especially if the student is online during the course and they don't come to the university, they don't use the camera. So, and this is one of the things we don't do at Russell University. Only the professor uses the camera. The students, they only use the microphone. So not using the camera between students, this will have like, they will not get to know each other. So there's this icebreaker thing. So they have to, they disengage. And also the inadequate ice-breaking activity, of course, with the lack of camera use, will lead to limited peer communication, not only inside of the classroom, also outside of the classroom. I also I previously mentioned the unreliable internet connections. This leads to disengagement, especially if the student is online, then sign out, sign in. This disconnection, this technicality issue will lead to disengagement because they will feel lost if they are always connecting and disconnecting. And of course, the screen fatigue, not only for the student, for the professor, if when we use a lot the screen during the teaching, especially if we have, and if the students have the back-to-back lectures, this tend to create a screen fatigue, physical discomfort, and this, of course, will lead to reducing the participation. What are the solutions of blended learning? And these solutions, we also adopted them at Russell University. First of all, what we do in our teaching, and especially these solutions will not only enhance the efficiency of blended learning, they will also enhance a student-centered learning experience, which is the core of the educational setting nowadays. First of all, we use interactive tools such as polls, quizzes, discussion boards, flipped classroom. Sometimes the flipped classroom is not provided by an in-person student. The flipped classroom is sometimes provided by a student or group of students who are attending online. So this will provide them with like a real-time interaction, because they are motivated, they engage. This is the first solution. The second solution, the peer interaction. What we do is we create peer-to-peer collaboration, not only in the face-to-face classroom setting, but also online. So what we do, we ask our students who are attending face-to-face to connect, to sign into Blackboard. So the face-to-face students, they also become online students, both online and face-to-face. We create groups on Blackboard, and the face-to-face students, they work with their peers online, and we give them, of course, like 5 minutes sometimes, or 4-minute activities in the classroom in order they prepare their discussion, their material, and then we discuss it together, balancing the online and the face-to-face communication. The camera use This is what I encourage, even though at Lucille University, the professor, we use the camera, but using the camera will encourage students to turn on, when we encourage them to turn on the camera, this will lead to better engagement, as if, okay, they will see, the face-to-face students will see their peers online. And what we have at Lucille University, when I use my camera and when I am teaching the face-to-face and online students, we have this 3D camera experience, so they see the professor, they see the board in the classroom, and if other students don't mind presenting on camera, they can see them also. The structured participation. What we do also is in the structured participation, especially, for example, in the flipped classroom activity, I ask or we ask our students who are providing the classroom online, they play the role of the teacher. So they address the students who are online and also in the classroom. They ask some questions, they name them, they encourage them to participate. So in this way, we have this interactive learning approach. At Lucille University, we use the learning management system, which is Blackboard, but also other LMS systems such as Moodle and Canvas or Microsoft Teams. They will allow easy integration of online and offline resources, assignments, and assessments. What we use is, for example, here, when we teach our class, we upload the PowerPoint presentations and the course material prior to the lecture. So all the students get familiarized with the material. They come to the class, they have read, they did the reading in the textbook, they have read the course material, the PowerPoint presentation. So what they do is they can ask questions, they participate in the learning process. Also, we upload all the course recordings. We record our sessions, and these recordings are available after the lecture to the face-to-face and online students. They can access it all the time. They can revise it, they can review it, they can prepare their questions. And also, of course, ask the professor either in the classroom or during the face-to-face and virtual office hours. And of course, the assignments and assessments, they are also uploaded online. So the quizzes, they are taken online. However, even though our students, they take the quizzes and they do the assessment, the assignments, they upload them online. These quizzes and assignments, they constitute the 30% of the grade. And we have for the midterm exam, which is the other 30% of the grade, and the final exam, 40% of the grade. These two exams, the big exams, they should be taken in person. They are not provided online. And of course, we have the timely and consistent feedback. This feedback, it can be by email. When we also grade the quizzes and the assignment, the feedback is provided to each student. We write the feedback. For example, if the quiz, after all the grades are submitted, if it is, for example, a multiple choice quiz or short answer quiz, the answers are uploaded directly online. But for the writing assignments, we provide, we grade them based on a rubric, and we provide feedback to each student based on their work. And this feedback, as I said, as Dr. Leandro previously mentioned, they are provided either by email in the face-to-face office hour, and we have also the virtual office hour for the students who are online. The frequent updates, we send all the updates by email or through announcements via Blackboard. We send all the announcements, the deadlines, and everything. So the students, they receive them on Blackboard through the announcement channel or by email. And of course, professional development, not only for the students, but also for the teachers. For the teachers, we have like a lot of professional development on how we can use Blackboard, or also the updates for the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, because the latest edition, it integrates updates and also the use of AI in Blackboard. So we have like regular professional development on how we can use a Blackboard in order to provide an efficient learning experience for our students. We also have the peer observation. We have teachers, they go to other teacher classes, they observe them, and we have a rubric. We provide a feedback on how we can improve. So it's like exchanging expertise. And especially, we also focus on how we are managing the online students with the face-to-face, and we take this into consideration. Of course, the feedback in order to improve our learning and teaching experience. For the students, they also have their professional development, or their development, their training on how to use all the features in Blackboard and also email. And for the students, they have the student evaluation for the course. They provide their feedback at the end of each semester about the course and the learning experience. And us as faculty, we self-reflect on this evaluation, and we take the students' feedback into consideration in order to improve our teaching and learning experience. I would like to thank you. I won't take more longer than that, because we would like to take your questions, Dr. Leandro and I. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, so please feel free to write them in the chat box. I think there's no questions, or maybe Dr. Leandro, they are taking some time to write them. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're still thinking of what to ask, Dr. Muriel.
Yes. Yeah. So we will wait for a few minutes, and yes, Clarissa, of course.
Maybe I just like unmute myself. I think
Yeah,
because
hello.
it's been too long. I don't know. Thank you for the presentations. It gives me a new insight. But and then it comes to a question: is blended learning still relevant nowadays? Because also at my university, I'm applying blended learning since pandemic, combining three types, which is online synchronous classes, asynchronous classes, and also face-to-face sessions. But however, maybe like similar to others, and what you're saying also, that students prefer to have a face-to-face classes. So they ask to decreasing the online classes and change it back to face-to-face. So yeah, it's slowly shift back to face only, and the online session is like slowly decreasing. Maybe like 20% of sessions now we did it on online. And I don't know, what do you both think about the continuity of blended learning in the next maybe years, or maybe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clarissa. Dr. Leandro, would you like to answer?
Sure, yeah. Thank you for that question, Clarissa. That is a very good question, because we like what Dr. Muriel has mentioned in the start of her presentation, that blended learning has become very popular because of the pandemic, right? Because we have to have another platform where we can continue our education. However, I think it will still be relevant in the coming years, as it has actually evolved into becoming more relevant, just by using it for the pandemic situation. Especially here in Canada right now, I think it has become a way of teaching and learning already, that we do have our in-person classes, but then again, we make use of other modalities, like having the learning management system still available for the students, having all the activities, assignments, quizzes, and everything being done in the learning management system. Although the teaching part is actually done in person in classrooms, but then again, there's still a big use of those platforms that are readily available for the students, because I think it has become very convenient both for the students and the teachers, having all those platforms available and being able to do all those, quick feedback, like what Dr. Miro has mentioned a while ago, quick feedback on those quizzes, on those assignments, and yeah, just as a way to easily interact and engage with the students. So I believe that it will be staying for sure, and it will definitely still evolve into something more in the future. How about you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Muriel? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Leandro. It will evolve in the future, especially now. Also, if any university has international students, at Lucelle University, we have a huge group of international students,
Yes.
and sometimes, for example, you have some of the delays when in order to come to the country. So, blended learning will be accommodating the students who are at the university, at the campus, and any other student who, for example, is interested in registering to a university, but, for example, they can't travel for a short time. So we sometimes have students who are online during the course,
Mm-hmm.
but due to some reasons, and really major reasons, they have to travel, for example, health reasons or family reasons. So they don't lose all the semester because of these reasons. They can be present, they can attend online, they can participate, they can benefit from the course. I think, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Leandro, I agree. Blended learning will evolve, and especially now, as I mentioned, and as you mentioned also, the 21st century skills, the digital
Mm-hmm.
literacy is not only like going online or searching for how to use technology, also for implementing it, and it will provide our students with an opportunity to implement technology during the learning and teaching process.
Yes, I agree.
There's yeah, there's another question from Suprita.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Suprita, for attending. You're saying the engagement online mode is very difficult for teachers, for small students, and believe
Mm-hmm.
me, not only for small students. The more we have students, the more it will become difficult. How we can ensure their participation when easy access of YouTube cartoons are available in hand, like on mobile? uh, Dr. Leandro, and then yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
that is really challenging, Suprita. I mean, like what Dr. Muriel has mentioned, we also kind of experience that with our older students, right? Because like what we have mentioned in the presentation, it's really easy to be distracted, especially if you have the technology available for you and you have access to all of the sites. But I think it is easier, in my perspective, I think it is easier to manage the devices being used by the smaller students, or the younger kids, in the sense that, like, for example, if the equipment, or the sorry, the equipment, like the mobile phones or the laptop, are actually provided by the institution or by the school. There are a lot of technologies available right now where you can actually limit the use or access to certain sites, like YouTube, or those other cartoons or other games that they might be accessing. No?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of really, probably procuring, these platforms also that will limit their access to this sites, if it's provided by the
Okay.
institution. Now, if it is actually a personal, device being used by the student, provided by their parents, then maybe it is important to have that communication with their parents, and also encourage the parents to also put some limits, because there are also some ways on how we can actually limit the access of the students, or the younger kids, to YouTube or to other sites. There's a way for us to be able to do that on, I don't know, probably Google, Android. They have different ways of how to do that, but it's just really a matter of exploring, because I believe it's already available, that um yeah, there are sites, there are platforms that can actually limit those access. What do you think, Dr. Muriel?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Leandro. And yes, I totally agree. And I would like to add, for example, even though we don't have small age students, we have, for example, adults. What
Mm-hmm.
happens in the lectures, if we only lecture, the students will get bored, they will be disengaged. So I know it will be like very hard for the teacher and very time consuming, and because the teacher will have a lot of preparation to do and a lot of creativity to put in designing the course. However, the small students, they like, even in the classroom, they like to learn by playing. And
Mm-hmm.
for example, yes, for integrating games in order, for example, to that can lead them to discover the concept. Games, interactive activities, discussions, videos, audios that are related to the course, that can keep them motivated and engaged, and that can also motivate their curiosity and their attention. And here you can, like, okay, motivate them on the one hand, on the other hand, you engage them during the session, so they don't feel like they want to go to YouTube to watch cartoon or to be distracted, because what they want to do in order in that discussion time, they have it in the class, so they are learning by being interacted or engaged through these motivating learning tools. We hope that we answered your question, Suprita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, ma'am, and thanks, sir, for answering my question. But sometimes we thought that we are limited we are limited without of the tool in front
Mm-hmm.
of students, that we prepare so much to get the students engaged. But sometimes we think that students are much more ahead of us, that they
Mm-hmm.
can access it uh, without knowing the teacher
Mm-hmm.
that they are what they are doing or not. The thing is that, otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks for the
yeah.
answer. Yeah.
Teaching is always challenging. What we
Yeah.
always must like engage our students and find ways to keep them engaged in the learning process, because now with social media and the technology and what is available online all the time, it's very hard to keep any student engaged, because they always want to be connected,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
to what
They
it
want to
interests.
explore it more.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
the answer.
Do you have any other questions? Because I think our panel discussion will conclude in 3 minutes. Any other question? I would like to thank you again, Dr. Leandro, for being with us today. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. I also would like to thank all the attendees. I hope you benefited from anything you learned from anything that we said today. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you again for Bolt for being with us today for in the coulisses, yes, in the backstage. Yes, dealing with any technical issue. And I would like to thank IAFOR another time for providing us with this opportunity to present during the conference of education. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks again, Dr. Leandro.
Thank you. Thank
We
you,
hope,
Dr.
thank
Muriel.
you,
Thank you,
thank
everyone.
you, thank you, and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hello.